Good evening, this is Martin, and this is Stig's owner. He's human. It's been a okay day today. Stig has been intently watching the progress on his new abode. I've been getting the evil eye most of the day. It's like, Dad, you really need to hurry up and finish that. I can see it's going to be a des res. You know, I want to move in there now, Dad. So what has Dad been doing today? Well, Dad has had a stinking headache all day. And Dad is sick to the sight of polystyrene. Now, as you know, through the aborted vivarium, which is now gone, that we were doing a DIY background out of polystyrene, which is going to be covered in some concrete-y muck, and then covered in something else, and then probably covered in coir and moss and sand and whatever else to make it look deserty. So obviously this is a different size vivarium that Stig's going to be moving into, and it's a different shape. So of course I keep coming up with bright ideas and changing my mind. So I land up sort of breaking the background up that I've done, cutting bits off it, and then sort of sticking it back how it was originally. And to be honest, my lounge floor, I must have hoovered it 5 or 6 times today. It's covered in bits of polystyrene. My poor Hoover, don't know what's hit it. Poor Henry. I think Henry's going to need a new bag at this rate, even though I put a new one in there the other day. So I'm going to turn me around. So I've actually built the tray. I don't know why I keep saying we as in me and Stig. I built the tray, which is going to go in the bottom out of this plasticky stuff. I've also put some of the plasticky stuff at the back there. I don't know if you can just see it. As yet, the vivarium's to be sealed. I didn't want to do that today. Having a headache already, I didn't really want to start breathing in silicon fumes today. So I've just been sort of messing about, sort of putting a rough idea of where I'm going to put things, trying to decide what's going to be the cool end, what's going to be the hot end. I think I've decided that what is at the top here is probably going to be the cool end, and then the warm end's going to be at the other end. So that will be, I think, how it's going to go. I did try building a lamp holder out of polystyrene because I wanted to do a mid-level basking area. But obviously we've got polystyrene. I just don't know how well that's going to do. If it's going to land up melting, catching fire. And it was just taking up too much space. I mean, as it is now, this big bit here in the middle here, just underneath the Stig, I'm probably going to remove that, because otherwise it's just going to clutter it. I think, you know, at the end of the day, I still want to keep this open. I've still got bits of cork in there, bits of bark to go in there. I've got some plants. Very kind of sad. Bought a couple of plants of a lovely lady that pretty much popped out straight away and posted them for me. So we've got a prickly pear coming, and I think I can't remember what the other one's called. It's an old jade plant. So I'm hoping that I don't manage to kill them. Hopefully Stiggy won't eat them, and they grow nice and big. Obviously we've got a lot of space to fill. So yeah, so I think we're getting there slowly. Tomorrow is definitely going to be a seal it day and leave it. And then the day after, which will be Saturday, we're going to get this background on. Sunday we're going to plaster it in gunk, and then probably another layer of gunk. I reckon at this rate, you know, really lucky, should be able to go in there next week, hopefully. So I'll say, as much as, you know, I've got other things to do, which I really must get on with as well. You know, I think the end is near, to be honest. Still haven't quite worked out. There you go. Still haven't quite worked out how we're going to bolt the two bits together. I've actually bought some of these at the moment, which just screw, and I think maybe temporarily possibly use those. Yes, there's a dinosaur in my head. long pause. I think, as I mentioned last night, I think we're going to go down the route of something like flight place clips or toggle clips or something, just to hold the two bits together. And I think I've pretty much made up my mind. I'm going to silicone the two bits together. Because to be honest, silicone, you can just cut through it with a knife if you need to. So I think that's the plan. Like I say, get the background done, and then we can put the two bits together, and then put the bottom tray in, and yeah, I think we're going to be good to go. I've also decided I'm going to paint the outside as well. I'm going to paint the outside, which is why I say it might take me till next week. At the moment, I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to paint it slate grey or a navy, sort of Admiralty blue. I think we might be possibly go for the slate grey because it'll match the curtains. So there we are. So anyway, that's today's little episode. I'll say more of Stiggy. He's actually running around at the moment. Did have a bit of an issue yesterday. His basking lamp blew, and I've been using an Arcadia Solar, which wasn't great. It had lots of black spots, but it kept him warm. And then yesterday when it blew, I put in one of the 75 watt Arcadia halogens that I've got for the new Vivarium, but it wasn't getting up to temperature. Obviously, fortunately, my current setup, it's in a dome light, basically, a dome mounting. So there's quite a bit of space between where Stiggy was basking and obviously the light. I think it was too great, basically, so that wasn't really getting up to temperature. So I did have a 100 watt one floating around. I must admit, I've been really concerned about that all day because I've got a thermometer probe directly underneath it, and it was getting up to 50 degrees. And I've got another thermometer that was where Stiggy was actually basking, and it was sort of going down as low as like sort of 33, 34. But he's I'm very much of the opinion if he has been too hot, he can move. The cool end's been fine. I've jiggled about with the thermostat a bit, and I think I've reached a happy medium where it's sort of been 43, 44. And like I say, he's been a lot more active this evening, I will say. He's actually been hunting around for locusts that I've put in the tank earlier. And a while ago, he knocked over a big calcium pot that I had in there, and he's been sort of licking the calcium, even though I do dust as well. So obviously, if you put locusts in there in the morning, or and they run around, obviously the calcium dust doesn't stay on there. So he's been licking that as well. So make sure I must give him some other bits and pieces tomorrow. Maybe give him some Morios or give him some Dubias tomorrow. Make sure I dust those properly for him as well. But it'll soon be time for Stig to go to bed. We did have a cuddle earlier for 5 minutes before we got bored. So yeah, so it's not been a bad day. Still waiting for me giant oranges to turn up. So apparently they were dispatched yesterday. So you would have thought I'd have had them today, but not. So hopefully they'll be alive. I don't know how well they handle the cold temperatures. But yeah, that's all for today. Thanks for watching.